You know, we're doing this, what's it called? Wind back the buzzard? You know, because the clocks are going back. So there's probably going to be a lot of Fleetwood Mac this weekend, but we're playing all this stuff from like over the decades.
Mm-hmm. Get a little deep with it, too.
It's awesome.
There's some deep cuts.
I was listening to stuff that was on Stansbury's show when I was in here. I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Like Styx and Prodigy and Joe Cocker. It's fantastic. So yeah, there's going to be some Fleetwood Mac in there too, but I was watching Stevie Nicks. You know, she was the musical guest over on Saturday Night Live a couple of weeks back. And she did a song that it was a very literal song about how it was very dramatic. You know, it wasn't particularly melodic, but it was very dramatic about how you can't have your rights taken away, and you know you've got to get out there and fight for what you believe in, and blah blah blah. Obviously, on the eve of this election, and she mentioned on one of the cable news shows that she had never even voted until she was 70. And I'm like, oh my God, she didn't even vote for Obama. She's 76. Like she very first time she ever voted, of course she said it was a big regret of hers, but imagine that.
In here, and then I have it in these typewritten pages that I can't hardly see.
That's okay.
For me, it was like read the words, listen to the song, and vote. No matter what. And I mean, I suppose you probably know that I never voted till I was 70. But now I regret that. Right. And I've told everybody that on stage for the last 2 years. I regret that, and I don't have very many regrets.
Right.
You know, there's so many reasons.
Imagine that. Till you're 70. I mean, I understand people who, you know, Pound Cake was on the show. You know, he's a young man, and he was like, I'm not, you know, he wasn't, I don't think he started voting until...
He would vote in, like, the major elections, but he wasn't...
well, a lot of people do that. Yeah. I mean, I don't even begrudge people that. I mean, I think you should vote in every election because all politics are local. But I do understand most people get activated for the big ones. I mean, I understand that. But, yeah, you don't even vote till you're 70. But she got a book out, too, I think. But, I mean, they talked to her for Rolling Stone. And she was also... You know, on the subject of her saying that she was talking about abortion, and she was like, if I had had a baby when I got pregnant, it would have ended Fleetwood Mac. So it's got to be weird if you're somebody who is anti-choice and you vote that way, but you also love Fleetwood Mac. You have to be kind of ambivalent about that. She's like, if I had not had my abortion in the 70s, and I think most people know that Fleetwood Mac, you know, was, you know, they were very...
all business. Very professional.
Yeah.
No shenanigans, no hanky-panky.
They were libertines of the highest order. And she's like, if I hadn't had my abortion, Fleetwood Mac would have ended. That would have been the end of the band. And of course, Rumors... One of the, when you talk about flawless albums from front to back, you know, you'll have these conversations with people and say, what is a perfect album? And of course, it was Fleetwood Mac's high watermark. I mean, one of the best-selling albums of all time. And that's not by accident. I'm sure that there are some modern examples of that. For instance, I think Alice in Chains' Dirt is a perfect album. There isn't a dud in the bunch. You go from front to back, every single song is 10 out of 10. And that's the way Rumors is. That's the way Steely Dan Asia is. And everybody has their own, depending on what genre you're into. I'm sure you have 10 out of 10 albums.
Yeah.
An album, Bare Naked Ladies or something.
I mean, In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth is...
Coheed and Cambria.
Coheed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the Blue Album by Weezer.
Okay, that's a great... There you go. That's a good pick. I mean, I have some that are a little bit off the reservation. I think Lamb of God, Ashes of the Wake. I think that is a modern, perfect album. I think Roll the Bones by Rush. That's not a popular pick. You know, even among Rush fans, they probably think, they're like, what the hell are you talking about? I think Roll the Bones by Rush, 1990, maybe? Perfect album. I don't know, and so this weekend when we're doing this Turn Back the Buzzard weekend, And it'll start up again after the Cavs game tonight. And all weekend long. It's just all kinds of wild stuff that I haven't heard in a long time. Let me look into tomorrow. You want me to look into tomorrow and tell you what's going on?
Yeah. Get a little sneak preview for everybody.
Boston. Sponge. Now, a lot of this is stuff that we should be playing on the regular anyway, but the Michael Stanley Band, Steppenwolf, Pat Benatar.
What song by Steppenwolf?
And there's Ozzy and Foo Fighters. What's that?
What song by Steppenwolf?
Born to be Wild. The Cult. Eddie Money. Elvis Costello. T-Rex. How about that? So, yeah, it's very exciting. But Stevie Nicks, she's like, hey, I just started voting.
Alan, this is Rich down in Jacksonville, Florida, listening live to the podcast, and you mentioned raccoons and their testicles and questioned the size on them. I can't question to the testicles themselves, but out there in the sticks, out in the country I grew up, you'd always find these country stores and little novelty items for sale, and they'd always have these dried raccoon penises, marketed them as like toothpicks or stirrers or whatever you would, but just want to drop that little fact on you. You can still find dried raccoon penises and sell in most country stores. Hit the show. Bye!
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. A couple of texters told me that they did, in fact, euthanize Peanut.
They did?
The squirrel.
That's a bummer.
If they are correct.
Sometimes they're not correct.
Sometimes that is the case. Alan, I think a perfect album is going to be We're Getting Famous by Bill Squire.
Well, it's out now.
Is it?
Yeah.
You mean I can get it now?
You can get it
on
right
vinyl
now. Yeah, not on vinyl. Not yet.
Will I be able to get it on vinyl?
On vinyl eventually. Yes,
all right.
We're still working on the details of that. But you can stream it on wherever you stream audio, like the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, and then or if you really want to help me out, those streamers don't give me great returns. So if you want to buy it, there's a link on my website and on my socials at Bill Squire and then BillSquire.com where you can purchase it from Amazon or Apple or something like that.
Are you at liberty to tell us how much it is?
It's $9.99.
Ooh, it's a bargain at twice the price.
Maybe $9.98, something like that. It's not, but
back in the day,
I'm very proud of it. It's really good.
Back in the day, if you found an album that was $9.98, it had a sticker called The Nice Price. Because albums back in the day were like $17, $18. So if you found that one was only $9, it was in fact a nice price. People texting me their perfect albums. A Perfect Circle, 13th Step. See, I think Mare de Nam is the perfect album from them, but I'm not going to fight you on that one. I think the very first APC record is the 10 out of 10. The Hurting from Tears for Fears. Love those guys. I would not have thought of that one. Dark Side of the Moon. That's low-hanging fruit, though. I'm more of a Wish You Were Here guy. But that's the beauty of it. You can kick around and you can... Now, I also want you to ruminate over what the most imperfect album is. What's an album from a band you like, but every track stinks? You go, man,
every track?
I'm waiting for one of these songs to... It made
Maladroit.
It made you question why you even liked the band.
No, actually, everybody goes real hard on Weezer for their newer stuff, and I don't mind it at all.
I appreciate
I don't love it, but there's some catchy songs in there.
I appreciate how prolific he is, and you're not going to hit bullseyes every time.
Right.
I'm happy they're still around. I like that they try new things. I still think the Blue record is their best one. Yeah. But I like that they're still around.
I like that they've taken some swings and tried different stuff.
Do you have any idea if We're Getting Famous comes complete with misplaced commercials on the iHeartRadio app? Do you know if that's in there?
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope they'd go at least in between tracks. But you never know with that crazy iHeartRadio app. But
you hope for the best.
You guys can all check it out now. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your feedback.
Film yourself listening to it.
Yeah.
And then email him.
and then tell, but don't tell Mary.
Did you get Sarah's video?
No, she hasn't done it yet.
All right.
Because that's for the.
But she has agreed to do it?
She's going to do something for it.
Yeah.
She's going to do a version of it. But I got a few different people. I got one that I'm real happy about. But there's. That's for the video release that's going to be in December, and I'll have more details on that soon. I did watch the final cut last night with my girlfriend because I was like, hey, I got the final cut for that. Do you want to watch it? And she was very excited. She was at the taping, but she hadn't,
seeing the finished product.
She wanted to see the finished product, and she forgot about a lot of the stuff. And I'm watching it, seeing every little thing that goes wrong, but she's having a blast, laughing her ass off. So
this was at the Agora.
This was the Agora, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very,
Are there like sweeping jib shots?
I mean, there's a little bit of movement. We didn't have a jib.
I didn't have a crane. You didn't have a crane? I don't know.
But if everybody buys this one,
you can afford a crane.
Then then maybe next time we get a crane.
Let's get some crane money for Bill.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Not everybody's got crane money.
I find those shots in stand-up specials can be kind of distracting too. Like they're cool. They're very cool. But I think you need like one or two tops. I've seen some specials where they're doing
that's all they do.
Sweeping crane shot again and again and again. And that's not how you watch comedy. You're not floating through the room, so it can be very distracting at times. But
it kind of got to be a cliche shot too.
Yeah.
Whoever did it first, everybody started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, you want to show how many people showed up for your thing.
Right.
I get it, but they'll probably figure that out.
Hey, if you want to pass this along to Alan, my son drives for Amazon, and he just called me, says, hey, Dad, where's Alan Cox live? I said, Bay Village. He said, I just delivered to his home. How cool. Period. So your package is delivered safe and sound.
Hey, how about
now
that?
That's service.
That is.
Yeah.
I came home last night to my blender sitting on the front step.
Ooh, that's exciting. I have.
Except the spot that we put our blender, it's underneath a cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
This is too tall. I didn't think to
those little things. Yeah,
I didn't think to measure the height of the blender because
No.
we had an Oster blender that we had forever, and it's fine, but it's starting to burn out.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered this Vitamix, and it's just too tall. And Gwen's like, "Oh, send it back." I go, "I am not sending this back. We're gonna put the blender in a different spot.
We're gonna find a new spot."
Yes, I'm not packing this thing back up and taping the box. And please, we're gonna use this blender. I'm excited. But yeah, I was all excited last night because I was pretty tipsy from the lemon vodka shots from across the street with our neighbor after trick-or-treating. So I get inside, I'm cutting open the Vitamix box, opening up the blender, and I go to put it where we got the other one. It's too tall.
That's going to be me tonight when I get home. I got a bunch of things going on tonight. So I'm hosting the early show for Joe Briggs at Hilarities, who is waiting to come in and talk about that. And then I have my show at 9:30 at Imposters Theater. And then finally I'll be home and I'll get to check out my new, I got a MetaQuest.
What is that?
The MetaQuest 3, that's the VR headset.
Meta, M-E-T-A.
Yeah.
I was thinking M-E-D-I,
No.
medicine.
No,
yeah,
no.
okay. MetaQuest.
MetaQuest.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one of those.
More money in Zuck's pocket.
I guess so, but I want to play that Batman game. That looks incredible. And
what is
got
that?
Really good. It's one of the Batman Arkham games.
Okay.
But you get to play it with, a little more tactical because you're like moving around and throwing punches and
You
stuff
are
like that.
Batman?
You are Batman.
Batman Arkham Shadow.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be really, really fun.
Included with your headset. $300
Yeah.
for the whole rig.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the $500 one.
Oh, pardon
Because
me.
I wanted the extra storage. And download, you need that extra. I got like the 512 gigabytes.
I remember years ago, my son, who's almost out of college, he's got a few more weeks. Before he went into college, I bought him, for Christmas one year, I bought him the HTC Vive Pro. It's like an $1,100 headset. Right?
Yeah.
And you got to set up the sensors in your room. He was still living at home, and then you got the thing. And I was like, this is pretty cool. But he was really immersed in it. Like he would, he's like a 17-year-old dude, whatever. He'd like fall asleep with it on. And it was like in real time.
Yeah.
So like the sun would be coming up in the goggles I'm like, bro, I go, that you don't want to go down that road.
Yeah. You don't wanna...
But that's the thing with these is they become obsolete relatively quickly because the technology moves so fast. So like you have fun with them, but I dropped way too much coin on something that was hot at the time, and it might still be, but I guarantee he's probably not using it as much. I mean, he's just busy.
I kind of made this purchase on a whim, and I was like, let's try it.
Why not?
I'll get it. See how I like it. And it looks fun. And I also I like the Beat Saber game. That's really fun.
Meat Saber?
No, not Meat Saber.
Oh.
Beat Saber.
I thought it was like Sims Churrascaria or something, where you're going around to tables and you're cutting the meat off the sword.
Yeah, it's like a Brazilian steakhouse.
This game is so realistic. That guy only tipped me 15%. Yeah, why don't they have those kinds of games? I'm never going to be Batman. I know that's the point, is you get to be Batman. And why would you want to have a game that represents what you could do in real life?
You could just go get a job at Texas de Brazil.
Tejas de Brasil. Fogo de Chao. Yeah, Fogo de Chao, the game. How about that? I've never worked at a churrascaria. I've never done that. So I've worked fine dining way back in the day, but it would be fun to do that. You're walking around asking people, would you like meat off of this sword? And they say yes or no. And then and you're not going to screw up anything because it's in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So not Meat Saber.
Not Meat Saber.
Hey, Tanner.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
So I was at a Halloween party with Bill Squire the other day.
Good
dressed up as
for
Jelly
you.
Roll.
Yeah, you were at that Oddfellows thing?
Yes, I was. I was wondering if he ever saw my costume. I didn't even recognize him dressed up as Jelly Roll. He did great.
Thank you.
I was the Wolverine.
Oh, I did see you. I saw you were at the Picklebacks.
Wolverine.
You were at the bar. I saw you kind of wandering around there. Yeah, you looked great, man.
Yeah, I was hanging out at the bar. I should have won that costume contest, but I didn't even enter.
Now, Tanner, which iteration of Wolverine were you?
Leather jacket
Okay,
Wolverine.
so I wore the leather jacket with the spiked hair.
Okay, not OG blue and
Hugh Jackman.
not blue and yellow
OG
Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he went Hugh Jackman.
OG Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I went
great,
as I should have gone as Wolverine, but I went as Hugh Jackman in The Music Man.
Oh, that's way better. That's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite the hoofer. Wait, Tanner, did you say that
I've never called you guys before.
Well, you can't say that anymore.
But I've been a big fan of the show for quite a while. I hate the show.
Thank you, Tanner. Did you say that you should have won the costume contest? Wait, Tanner, did you say that you should have won the costume contest, but you didn't enter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I know I didn't enter, but I should have won anyway.
All right, gotcha.
Out the crowd.
Yep.
And my costume was that good. That's how great it looked.
Was good.
I'm just glad that it wasn't a sexy,
I heard
slutty
you were
nurse who
talking
won.
about that MetaQuest.
Yep.
That MetaQuest. I bought one of those things, and man, let me tell you, the only good thing on there is VR porn.
Oh, you can watch porn on these?
Oh yeah.
See,
yeah.
I would try it out for that, I guess.
Which version do you have?
So I have the two.
Yeah. I've played the 2. It was all right, but I guess they've made some leaps and bounds with the 3, so I'm going to try it out. You can always return it. It's Amazon.
I mean, I honestly, I don't play it. I played it for a couple months and then it died.
Plus, if you're watching VR porn, they probably are less likely to take it back because they figure it's been soiled. It's been defiled.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a brave new world. Okay,
It
thank
got
you,
a little
Tanner.
dirty and sticky and
Right. Okay. Thank you, Tanner. All right, there you go. There's Tanner, who was at your big Halloween party.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
So wait, Wolverine leather jacket, it's just spiky hair and a leather coat?
I mean, he looked good. He had the claws, too.
Claws, yeah, but no
So
costume.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good, but there were people that put a lot more time and effort into their costume. Like the guy that won was a 12-foot tall Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
So like that, and he built the whole costume himself. There was other people, they were dressed like mermaids and a merman, and they painted their whole bodies
Like
and stuff
Zoolander.
Like that. Yeah, I mean there was a lot of work that went into some of these costumes. So,
If only there had been a 13-foot Grim Reaper, he could have won.
always next year.
It's on height
We're
alone.
gonna do it next year.
You doing one next year?
Oh, I think we'll do it again next year.
One of these years, I'm going to do Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have an Alan Cox Show Halloween party next year.
There you go.
Bring those back. We had them the first few years of the show. That's the only instance in which I'd really go full tilt boogie. All right, listen, Joe Briggs is going to join us in a bit. He is filming a special tonight at Hilarities, and he's part of Bill Squire's Chris McQuanzica as well, so we'll catch up with him. You want to go see Sullivan King? Are you hip to Sullivan King? It's a lot of metal, it's a lot of EDM, and he's on tour and coming to Cleveland. The chaos will bring peace.